Hello, Chamber members. Welcome to another edition of BCC, Business Community Connections, and today we're talking about community resources. We have Bump Skaggs, the President and CEO of the Coordinating and Development Corporation, and he's going to tell you what that means. So, can you first just tell us what is the Coordinating and Development Corporation?
Sure. So some people know it as the CDC, and we're what's called a PDD, a Planning and Development District. The state tasked us with that job way back in the late 60s, and that was to help the rural communities and local communities, the villages, towns, cities, and parishes with whatever they needed with state-funded projects and things of that nature, as well as the federal level as well. One of the major functions we have that really affects the local community is our Workforce Development Office there. It's called the WIOA grant, Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. It starts at the federal level and flows through the state, and there's roughly 70 boards in our state, and each board gets a funding. Our area covers the 10 parishes in northwest Louisiana, with the exception of the city of Shreveport. Due to population, they have their own workforce board there.
Yeah.
Some of the programs that we offer there's three main deals that you can look at. It's youth, dislocated worker, and adult programs. A youth participant would be anybody that's 17 to 24 that maybe has decided to take their GED, is not in high school, or has taken a year off of college that wants to get integrated in the workforce, maybe in a skilled labor force like welding, plumbing, electricians, and things like that. You can come to our office, and if you get qualified, we can help pay your wages through that trade school.
Oh, I like it.
It's a good deal. It's a great industry to get back into.
No kidding.
Another opportunity is an adult. So anybody over the age of 24 that may have been out of work for a while, they may be on unemployment, they may have lost their job, they could come qualify too, and we could help those folks get back into the workforce. Maybe they have a skill that's not really transferable to our current economic climate, and we can help enhance that skill through some of our training programs. The last one would be a dislocated worker deal, and that's somebody that's lost their job through no fault of their own, through a layoff. The biggest example of that would have been years ago when GM closed down.
Right.
You had several hundred people that were laid off. They were dislocated workers. We would come in and help retrain them in another skill set that's applicable to our community. So there's a lot of cool programs that go there. One of the big things I think we should address is how does this affect local businesses? And so we have something called on-the-job training contracts. And so basically anyone in any of those adult, dislocated worker, or youth programs can come to work for you under the OJT contract, as we call it. And under that contract, if you're training them, we give you a 6-month window to train them in your business. After that 6 months, we hope that you bring them on. We pay half of their salary for that first 6 months to take the burden off of you as the business owner to get them
Very
integrated
nice.
back in the workforce.
So this is great information if you know someone who might fall into these categories, but also if you're a business who's willing to do the on-the-job training, then this could be a great resource for you. I'm really glad that you cleared up all of these acronyms that you had.
Thank you.
So you also have on Viking Drive the Veterans Network Center. So can you tell us a little bit about what work you do there?
Oh, good idea. So the Veterans Network Center is a partnership with the Warrior Network. And so in our workforce program, we realized we were missing the boat on a lot of participants that could be utilizing our program, such as trailing spouses in the military.
Very important.
Roughly 1,000 folks PCS into Barksdale every year, and many have spouses that follow that lost their job or left their job to come to our community. You've also got discharging military vets at the total of 1,000 to 1,200 a year that many have top secret clearance. They can show up to work on time. It's the greatest secondary workforce you'll ever have in a community.
Yes.
And maybe they're missing a certificate in our economic leg that we're developing in the cyber sector, and they can go to BCC or Louisiana Tech. Well, once they've put in their retirement papers, they become a dislocated worker in many cases, and we can help pay for them to go get those certificates to reintegrate them in our current economic workforce.
Yeah. So basically, you are connecting lots of people together to get jobs, but you also have that funding component that a lot of places wouldn't have to make these connections, right?
We do, and the Warrior Network's who we've partnered with to manage a center. It's basically a space at 4,000 Viking Drive, and if you're a vet or vet related, it's rent free. They schedule it, they help you put on your events. We've had spouses yoga to birthday parties to change of command ceremonies to whatever the military needs to do and needs a space to do it. But it gives us an address, a one-stop shop to get military folks in the door and kind of expose them to our programs, but also help them in other capacities too.
Yeah, so you're helping the little guy, the rural communities. You're also helping people who need some sort of training to get in a job. You're helping businesses connect with them. And then you're helping veterans and dependents get jobs.
There's a lot of good stuff going on.
Okay, so this was chocked full of great information. If you have any questions, you can drop them below. We'll get them over to Bump because he has this down. But it was a lot of good information. Right?